Brother, the goal was always the lean, athletic physique. A young Cristiano Ronaldo was the goal. But somewhere along the way, you started training like a bodybuilder, and instead of looking like Chris Bumstead, you ended up looking like I did a few months ago. And you think that looking like this, you are just going to keep training and end up recomping your way to waking up being jacked and shredded one day. And it is not going to happen, and you know this. The problem is, and we're going to turn this problem into your strength actually, is that you have already built the muscle. So there's no way that you are going to recomp your way from this to this. The good news about this is that this path to building this lean athletic physique is actually much simpler than you think. And you could be as little as 3 months away from making this transformation. You might think that you have to train like one of these crazy freaking hybrid athletes that I know that I'm seeing on Instagram, who are just training in the gym 6 days a week, running 2 freaking marathons a week, and they're taking gear to be able to recover and do all of that. That is not the case. This is what I call the modern athlete method. And this is for the guys who want to get into incredible shape while becoming the best version of themselves, but to do it in alignment. So this is all about not just training for the lean athletic physique, the lean athletic look, but to build a lifestyle that you enjoy, that challenges you, that fulfills you, that then naturally gets you to the body that you want. Not just the lean athletic physique, but to be at that 90% in all areas that you want to be in, and to be overall well-rounded in great freaking shape. That is the modern athlete method, and I'm going to give you literally freaking everything to do it. All right, so here we go. The problems that you are having, you're pretty much having 2 problems right now with all of this. And this was me 6 months of training the wrong way. And while I did probably lose maybe 15, 20 pounds between these 2 pictures, this was right after I got 2 knee surgeries, so I gained a bunch of weight. This was me jumping back into that bodybuilding style training. And like, this is no look to have, right? This is not the lean athletic physique. And so I knew that something had to change. And I was doing that whole 6 days in the gym, right? You're running your push-pull leg split. You're running it twice. And so you're doing 6 days in the gym. You're skipping cardio because you freaking hate it. Nobody wants to spend 45 minutes on the incline, on the treadmill, or on the Stairmaster or anything like that. You have nothing to train for, right? I was the same way. Like, you're saying the whole, I'm just trying to get leaner and stronger, and you're just following what everybody else does, right? The way that everybody else freaking trains. It's all this bodybuilder propaganda that we see. It's everything like the bulking and the cutting and the chicken rice and broccoli and the incline on the treadmill and all of that stuff. And you're just following that because it's what everybody else does. But you've never sat down with yourself and figured out what you actually want. So you have nothing to train for, right? Like, we're not stepping on stage or anything like that, and so we're not actually enjoying the training, and the training is not getting us to this Chris Bumstead look. It's getting us to me a few months ago look. And so in the end, we just have the other thing is we have no structure with our diet, right? We're just pretty much eating what we want. And so in the end, we have no intention with the gym and how we're training and how we're showing up there. We have nothing to actually train for because we don't care about the goals that bodybuilding was made for. For somebody who likes bodybuilding and enjoys training in that way, then yeah, 100%. But this is not building the lean athletic physique, so I don't know why the heck you're here anyway. We're just training with no intention in the gym. We're going through the motions. We're eating what we want, and this is what we are ending up looking like. And all we are going to do is end up fixing those 2 problems of having nothing to train for and having no structure with our diet to fix this and build the lean athletic physique in the way that we want to by building that lifestyle that we want to have. And so this is 6 months of actually training the right way, of going from this to this and actually building that lean athletic physique. The main problem here, and this is the first thing that we need to cover, the number one thing, is to set goals that we actually care about. This whole, I just want to get leaner and stronger, bro, is absolutely freaking killing you, because it is what is continuing to make you show up, be disciplined, be consistent, but not actually freaking go anywhere because you have nothing to aim for. And so you got to be real with yourself about the goals that you actually want. And this is what I did. And I said, I want to be an all-around athlete, all around just well-rounded, in great shape in all of these different areas. I don't want to be a bodybuilder, and it's clearly not working. And so I want to be lean and athletic and have that look, but actually be lean and actually be an athletic person. I want to be flexible, mobile. I want to have good cardio, and I want to look and feel good and actually be an athlete, right? And these are the things that I think most of us would want to have. And you can do all of this. It sounds like a lot, but with what we're going to go over with the training and the diet and all of that, you can do all of this as long as you do everything right. So don't freaking worry about that. The main thing, one of the biggest things that you need to do right now, and the biggest change for me, was having a big goal that covers all of these. I mentioned how I had just recovered from my 2 knee surgeries here. And so my first big goal was to fix my knees so that I didn't continue having these problems. I got the surgeries and it didn't fix the issue that I was having. So by the time I got to here, yeah, I had fixed those knee problems enough. And I set a new goal, a goal that would hit all of these things by training for that goal. And I said I was going to increase my vertical jump to dunk a basketball. The reason I wanted to do this is because I had knee problems for 5+ years that had plagued my life. And I decided I'm going to bring this full circle by dunking a freaking basketball. Here, I was very far away from that goal. Here, I'm getting very close to that freaking goal. I was super overweight. Knees had just recovered. Hadn't trained like an athlete in years. But training to increase my vertical hits everything here. You have to be lean. Having extra fat is just freaking dead weight, right? So you might as well just get rid of it and shave the fat off. Training like an athlete, I can still train for aesthetics in my upper body. I can have good cardio because I'm shaving off all of the weight and all that stuff. And so by setting that big goal of increasing my vertical jump to dunk a basketball, I've been able to hit all of these big general goals here by having that one big specific goal. So you need to find that specific goal that means something to you that you can actually train for. And then once you do it, you can just find something else to train for. It's not that freaking serious. You can just keep training for different things, or like we're going to do, I'm going to show you in this video, we are going to build a lifestyle to where this just becomes habit and this becomes how you train instead of going through the motions, training like a bodybuilder, skipping your cardio, eating whatever you want, all of that stuff. Okay. And so the first thing that we are going to fix is the strength training. Like I said before, your advantage now, we're not going to call this like a negative thing because you're trying to recomp. Your advantage is that you already have the muscle. And so from this point, you don't have to keep growing. The point anyway is that we aren't trying to look like this. We are trying to look like this. I play soccer. Being here, I feel light and fast on the field. If I were to put on any more muscle than this, I don't know if that would be true. And so it's not like you have to be freaking huge anyway, and you already have enough muscle to build this lean, athletic physique. And so what we're going to do is we're going to maintain what we have. You do have to have some muscle. Like if you have no muscle at this point, then yeah, but it's a whole different goal from that point. Just eat a lot and strength train freaking hard and start there and then come back to this, I guess. Do that for like a year and come back to this, I guess. But we are going to maintain it while slowly adding to it and slowly mainly getting stronger. So we're going to be going in the lower rep ranges. We're not going to get into all of that freaking stuff right now. What we are going to focus on is fixing that strength training. So we're not going to be in the gym 6 times a week, hitting push-pull legs and going through that twice and having to hit our 12 sets a week or whatever it is. You already have the muscle. It's okay. We're trying to build the lean athletic physique. We are over the bodybuilding style stuff. We are going back to looking like the young Cristiano Ronaldo, right? And so what we're going to do is we're going to hit upper lower 3 to 4 times a week. Good thing about this is you can just rotate it. So if you miss a day on Monday because you're freaking tired or whatever it is, you don't have to freak out like, oh, my split's all messed up and all that. No, you just continue rotating your upper lower. You hit it 3 to 4 times a week while you continue to do the other stuff that we're talking about, that we're going to talk about later on. Hit the main exercises. Like you don't have to overcomplicate this. We don't have to do a ton of accessory exercises to build our biceps or whatever it is. Do 4 exercises per workout. Your incline dumbbell press, your shoulder press, your bicep curls, your tricep push down, your squat, your RDL, your deadlift, your pull-ups, your dips, stuff like that. Just like the main exercises, hit them and hit them hard. So we're doing 4 exercises a workout, 3 to 4 sets per exercise, and train hard within those sets. So then you are getting 90% of the gains that you would get anyway, so that you can maintain that and increase your strength without putting on a ton more muscle that you don't want to have, right? So we're training hard. And the main reason for training this way is because we're trying to save time all across the board, right? So if you're doing this 3 to 4 times a week, it's going to save time for the cardio that we're going to talk about. And you're saving time within the workout to work on mobility. So I'm still hitting 6 exercises per workout, but I'm hitting 4 main strength exercises with 2 exercises for mobility. So if it's an upper day, 4 strength exercises, 2 mobility exercises for the lower body, right? And that's how I do it. So the whole point is to save time and continue to maintain that muscle while getting a little bit stronger in the lifts that we want to improve in, right? You can set your own goals, track your own lifts so that you can continue to progressively overload and grow on those if you want to, or if you want to just go through the motions, then sure, have fun. Here is the main thing. Like, this is it. This is the hack. This is the total difference. This is where it starts to look like, instead of you just training for a look, this is you building a lifestyle that you genuinely enjoy doing and is bringing you towards goals that you actually care about. Well, we still have the self-development side of it, right? You still have to be disciplined. You still have to be consistent to do this stuff, but this is where you start to build that lifestyle that you enjoy. And when we talk about diet, we'll talk more about that self-development side. My whole philosophy on this is that you have to meet yourself halfway, of like actually getting in alignment. And if you're somebody on this video, your problem probably isn't consistency and discipline. It is the alignment piece of what you actually want to do and actually building the right lifestyle to one that you enjoy towards goals that you care about. And you start to get into this flow and build this momentum. The other side of it is the self-development piece, right? Of the person that you are showing up as. And we'll talk more about that when we get into the diet stuff. But this is the cardio. And so I like to call this side questing. Just trying shit out, stuff that you enjoy, until you find like your main things that you just like to do, and you can do this stuff 3 to 4 times a week. And so I used to box a lot more than I do now. I had to take some stuff away to make sure I was managing the load on my knees right. And, you know, boxing is actually very tough on the knees. If it wasn't clear, you might think you're just punching, but it's actually very tough on the knees. And so that, I play a lot of soccer. That's what I played growing up. A big part of this is to pick up something like that. If you played basketball, if you played soccer, something like that, because this is where you keep that athleticism. We're not training like we were in high school for like high school or college sport to get like insanely good at it. But this is to keep that athleticism as you age and as you get older and as you grow and all of that stuff. We want to keep that athleticism. So you need to do something where you're sprinting, jumping, cutting, all of that. This is where you become that modern athlete, where you enjoy that lifestyle and get into sick freaking shape all at the same time. These hybrid athletes that I was talking about up here, they're training a lot in the gym, which is what we're going to do 3 to 4 times a week, right? But they're also just running a lot. And so if they're just staying in zone 2 cardio all the freaking time, there's no reason that you can't do that, but with stuff that you just actually want to do. If you actually want to run, go ahead and run, right? But you can also just do stuff you enjoy. Like when I go play pickleball, I'm not doing it for the pickleball. I'm hanging out with my fiance who freaking loves pickleball with my family. Like it's there as like time to hang out with family, right? But it's something active that burns a bunch of calories because I haven't eaten yet for the day and I'm getting like 10,000 steps in running around the freaking court. And so this is what you start to look at for cardio. It isn't the just walking on the treadmill that you hate and don't enjoy. This is stuff that you look forward to. I shoot around in the mornings, like 2 or 3 days a week now. And I just like look forward to it so much. One of those side quests that I decided to pick up, like, hey, I'm going to try shooting a basketball. And I got totally addicted to figuring out how to shoot a basketball and get good at it. And now I'm getting freaking good at it. And it's so freaking fun. That walking the dog more, doing my jump training, right? This is me doing an approach jump, playing soccer, that athletic side of things, hanging out with people and doing stuff that is active. This is where you start to build the lifestyle. You don't have to just force your cardio on the treadmill and on the Stairmaster. Sure, do it if you aren't doing anything else for the week, but like just pick up stuff that you want to do and that is fun and that keeps you moving like an athlete. Just do your best not to hurt yourself because that's going to set you back. But otherwise, this is the main thing. This is where you start building it into a lifestyle. Then we get into the diet. This is the self-development side of everything that I'm talking about here. Yes, like I said before, like you have to like stay consistent and be disciplined with the strength training, with the cardio, all of that stuff. But this is where you start to take it on, because this is where you haven't been taking on that challenge up to this point, right? If we're being honest, like there's a reason. The reason that I looked like this was because I wasn't tracking macros and taking my diet seriously. If I was at least doing that, I would have looked better than I did here, right? But I put it all together into the lifestyle, and this was a major part of it, was this diet. And if you're at this point of the video, hopefully you understand that part of this is self-development. But like, dude, you're a freaking guy in your 20s. You don't need to be looking for freaking comfort all the time. Take on this challenge and get into the best shape that you possibly can while you are in the prime of your freaking life. Like, you might as well do it. And this is part of it. The good part about this is it is about getting to a level that you want to get to. So number one, we are getting to 15% body fat or under, full stop, no matter what. 15% is the minimum. I'm about to go to the next level. I'm going to go into another cutting phase, but you have to get to 15%. From there, you can decide what level you want to get to. Track your calories, stay in a deficit until you get there. Simple as that. Like, don't argue, whatever. Like, that is what we are doing. Fight off the cravings, fight off the comfort. You don't have to be comfortable all the time. Get into the shape that you want to get into. And this is how you do it. There is no hack. It is as simple as this, okay? Once you get there, especially when you build this lifestyle of like what we're going to talk about with how to eat, I am going to tell you exactly what to do with all of that. I'm not just going to yell at you to stay in a calorie deficit, because that's totally helpful. But once you get there with this lifestyle, especially with doing more cardio and being more active, and you recognize that having extra fat on you is literally just extra dead weight. It takes so much more to maintain muscle than it does for fat. So it kind of ends up just being dead weight. And so when you shave off the fat, it doesn't actually change your maintenance much, especially if you're going to be a lot more active. You'll probably end up having a higher maintenance. So once you get to that point that you want to get to, you're going to realize like, oh, I can just kind of eat pretty good and like how I want and maintain it very easily, especially with the lifestyle that you are going to live and the lifestyle that you're going to build into. And I am going to go deeper on this at the end of the video. But the way that you get there, this is how everybody who gets lean does it. There's like no other hack. This is what you do. You eat the natural whole foods that you hear about all of the freaking time. So this is your meats, your dairy, your eggs, your fish, fruits and vegetables, rice, potatoes, and a little bit of bread. Have it be the natural whole foods. Within that structure, you build your go-to meals. Eat the same freaking thing every single day if you have to. I used to do this before I got the knee surgeries and got fat, all that stuff, and it freaking works. Eat the same thing if you have to. But the way I recommend doing it, just so that you have some variety and some fun, like I said, this is about building a lifestyle, but build those go-to meals so that you can just have those same foods and just like rotate them, and you get into a routine and get into the lifestyle, the thing that I keep saying. And so I have my go-to meals, and within my routine, I have meal one, which I eat about midday, and I have meal two, which is just about my dinner. And then I'll just have these go-to meals and kind of like rotate through them, and I know they're going to fit into my calories because I've been tracking them and all of that. And then again, that goes back into this being easy to maintain because you're just rotating the same meals and you've tracked them. And then once you get to the point you want to be at, you can just eat a little bit more of it, and then you're good to freaking go. My routine, if you want to try copying this, but build your own, one that actually works for you. I eat 2 servings of fruit until like noon to 3 p.m. and have like 2 to 4 cups of coffee a day because coffee curbs hunger before I have my meal one. And I'll have that a couple hours before I go and train and work out. And then I'll have my protein shake, and then I will have dinner. And of course, that is all within the calories that I have to eat for the day to get to the goals that I have. I've been maintaining for the past couple of months, but when I was cutting down, that was all within the, I can't have this. That was all within the calories that I had. So your natural whole foods, build your go-to meals, build your routine that freaking works for you, and follow that. Stay in the deficit until you are at 15% body fat or under. That is what you need for the diet. We are doing a cut. It is as simple as that. We are doing a cut. We are keeping protein high. We are going to build the lifestyle by getting into cardio that we actually enjoy. We're going to be burning more calories, and we are going to be strength training to maintain the muscle mass that we have with keeping that protein high. And through this, we are going to be building up ourselves and our lifestyle to what we can naturally maintain and what will naturally get us to this lean athletic physique that we are looking for. And so the entire point is to build the lifestyle of the modern athlete, the lifestyle that will naturally bring you to the lean athletic physique that you are looking for. That does not mean to just watch this video and think that you did something. It is about the lifestyle that you live, the tactics that you take in, right? The stuff from this video, the mindset that you have, and the person that you are. It is a combination of all three. When I looked like this, I was living a certain lifestyle. I had a certain mindset, and I was showing up as a certain person. Now, this is an external reflection of the lifestyle that I live, the mindset that I have, and the person that I am. It is a combination of all three. I will say this again. You are a dude in your freaking 20s. Now is the time to get into the best shape of your life. So just take this, if anything, the lifestyle, the mindset, and the person you are. Take that, if anything, and put that into play into getting into the best shape that you possibly can. And remember that this isn't supposed to be miserable. This is not supposed to be the chubby bodybuilder lifestyle that you've been living where you don't enjoy your training and you don't enjoy the cardio and you don't enjoy the diet and all of that stuff. It is about getting in alignment, but it is also about building yourself into the person that you want to be. And you're supposed to wake up blessed and looking forward to this discomfort that you're taking on because it's the discomfort that you choose. You're supposed to be waking up, putting on music, feeling good. Like, hey, we're moving towards our goals today. It is supposed to feel good. It's supposed to be fun. You are supposed to enjoy it. Hopefully, this video was everything that you ever wanted out of building the lean athletic physique. My coaching is 100 times this. It is the point of coaching is to get accountability and specificity to exactly what you need. I obviously cannot tell you exactly what you need in a YouTube video. If you are somebody that understands coaching, I am a coach that gets coaching myself for my own fitness goals. Like I said, increasing my vertical jump. So I have coaching for that. I have business coaching. If you're somebody that just understands that coaching is the best way to get to the goal that you want, I will totally hook you up. I will totally take care of you. Hit me up on Instagram if this resonated with you and you do want to get into the best shape of your life and to do it the right way by building yourself into that modern athlete and building out that entire lifestyle and building yourself up into the person that you want to be. If that's you, go ahead and hit me up on Instagram. Otherwise, I hope this was everything that you needed. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.